Good day everyone, Caleb here again. My last video I distinguished love, and today is kind of like a follow-up video. I want to talk about the journey home to love, or at least my perspective of it. So let's start with like the recipe for reality, as I call it. So your thoughts lead to your emotions, lead to your actions, lead to your results. Buddha had a perfect quote for this. He said, "What you think, you become." So literally, our thoughts matter. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our thoughts put us in a state of receivership of those emotional states, and then from that emotional state we take our actions, and therefore our results come into our reality. So I like to say my thoughts matter, and actually physically touch myself and say, hey, my thoughts actually really matter. They matter to what's coming into my reality, into my existence. So this coming home to love journey, it all starts once you realize that the voice in your head never stops. You got a constant dialogue going in your head. And if right now you're thinking, what voice? That's exactly the voice I'm talking about. So we never get a break from this constant commotion in the mind, constantly thinking, and those thoughts are constantly creating emotions. Every thought we have, neurologists tell us, creates chemical releases inside of our brain. Those chemicals are emotions. Like I said, we take action from that emotional state inside, from those, and it all is born with the thoughts. So as we're awakening, I like to see it like kind of like a pendulum swinging. So we're becoming hyper aware of our thoughts as we're going down this awakening, coming home to love journey. We're becoming hyper aware of these thoughts that we're having and the emotions that they're creating, and we're deciding what thoughts we want to have and what emotions we want to be living by as that pendulum is swinging. So the pendulum starts to swing back now. We're showing up on purpose now. We're cultivating thoughts and emotions that we want to have in our lives, that we want to experience inside of our nervous systems. And we're creating reality from this place. And as that pendulum is swinging back, we're becoming more and more empowered. We're showing up on purpose. We're living in purpose. We feel more alive inside. We're starting to recognize love and peace and joy more frequently in our existence. And as we're going through this journey, we're finding all these weeds inside the gardens of our hearts, so to speak. And we're finding these weeds, these traumas, these limiting beliefs, all this stuff that's been holding us back all these years, all these subconscious beliefs that we constantly regurgitate over and over again every day. We're pulling those weeds out by the roots and throwing them out of us, and we're planting new seeds of new beliefs and new ways we want to show up in this world. And as that pendulum starts swinging back again, now we're showing up on purpose. We're living from a place of true identity inside, and we're starting to experience love and peace and joy more regularly. And at some point, we just have to let go and let love have all of us. We have to literally just let go of the rope and let love have every bit of us. And that means basically living from that place of love inside, asking love, what would you have me do here? Like literally having a relationship to love, like you're asking love out loud or internally in your mind before you do anything. Like, what would you have me do here, love? And then get quiet inside and wait for an answer. And typically the first response is going to come from the ego. It's going to be a thought. It's going to come in loud and proud. It's going to be big and bold. And that's usually when I watch it, look at it, appreciate it for what it is, but then I ask the question again and get quiet again and make sure I'm in a place of stillness inside. Typically when I'm in a place of peace, or if I have an emotional response of love when a thought comes in, that's typically a thought I'll follow. It's because it seems like that's a bit of a recipe. It feels like if I'm following that thought, it's usually one that's going to lead me to a good place. So that's kind of the recipe that I like to use. It's kind of like, yeah, you wake up, you kind of become aware that you never stop thinking. That's like the first step. Then you grow up. You start recreating your life. You start taking responsibility for what's come up inside of yourself. You clean yourself up. You find all this shit inside of your garden, all these limiting beliefs, all these traumas that you no longer want inside of you. Get that up and out of you. And then you show up. And you show up for the world, because the world needs more love-centered leaders like you. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon.